Hello, for this video, I'm going to skip right to the problem. So I'm assuming that you read through the wording here to learn all about federal income tax. So I'm going to go right to the problem here. And for this problem, we'll need this table right here. The numbers are kind of small. I'll try to help highlight things the best I can. So in this example problem, Carla's an actuary. Her gross pay for the week is $425.88. She is married and claims 2 allowances for herself and her husband. What amount will Carla's employer withhold from her pay for FIT? And we are to use the table below. So first of all, we know we're using the right table. This one says for married people and she is married, so we're good to go. Her gross pay for the week is $425.88. That falls in between $420 and $430. So we are, I thought I was going to highlight for me, and won't do it. We are looking in this row right here, between 420 and 430. We see that she is claiming 2 allowances total, one for herself, one for her husband. So we go down to the 2 column, and where that meets up in the row that we are in is right here at 10. So she earns between 420 and 430 a week. 2 allowances is $10 that her employer will withhold from her pay for FIT. So nothing too crazy mathematically. We didn't need a calculator at all. It's a matter of just finding the right information in the table. The next couple problems we will have to do a little bit of calculating on, but nothing too crazy. So again, I'm going to jump right to the problem here. I'm going to unzoom. Here we go. Lance's gross pay for the week was $393.23. He's a carpenter's apprentice, single, and claims 2 allowances. Using the percentage method of withholding, which is in this table right here, what amount will Lance's employer withhold from his pay for federal income tax? So this is a multi-step process. First, we need to find his allowance amount. So I'm going to call that AA. Allowance amount is the number of allowances. It says right here he claims 2 allowances. So 2 times 63.46, which you can do in your head or with a calculator, totally up to you. And we get 126.92. We're not done yet. Huh? Once we have that, we can find out his taxable wage, which I'm going to call TW. Taxable wage is his gross pay, which in the problem says is $393.23, minus the allowance amount. That's what we found in the last problem, or last equation, 126.92. And we can use a calculator to find that amount. We get 266.31. The question's not asking for his taxable wage, though. They want to know the amount withheld from FIT. And so the way we find that is, I'm going to just call this AFIT, just abbreviate there. The amount withheld for FIT, it says use the taxable wage in the table below to compute. His taxable wage is $266.31, which falls in this category right here. He's over $195, but not over $645. When things fall in that category, it's going to be $1,440 plus 15% of the excess over $195. So it's $1,440 plus, remember 15% as a decimal is 0.15, times the excess over $195. That means how much more is his taxable wage than $195? So we take his taxable wage, $266.31, minus that $195. This will let us find excess. And since we've been using a calculator, we can type everything after the equal sign into Desmos all at once. So let's do that. 1440 plus, make sure your decimal's in the right place. Make sure you have the parentheses here. And once again, we are dealing with money, so we're going to round to the nearest cent. $25.096 rounds up to $25.10. Exemptions, in terms of state taxes, we often talk about exemptions instead of allowances. Same idea. And so once again, I'm going to assume you've read through this and jump right to the problem. Tony's gross pay as a landscape designer is $44,750 a year. The state income tax is 3% of taxable wages. He takes an exemption, should be and, not and, an exemption for himself and one exemption for his child. How much does Tony's employer withhold yearly from his gross earnings from state income tax? So first of all, how many exemptions do we have? There's one for himself and one for his child. So his exemptions are, he is a single person, so $2,000, plus a child is a dependent, $2,000, which is a total of $4,000. And then once again, this is a multi-step process. We need to find his taxable wages, which is his annual gross pay. Remember, that's how much he gets paid in a year, minus his exemptions, which we know is a total of $4,000. And so his taxable wages is going to be $40,750. We didn't ask for taxable wages, though. What we want to know at the end of the day is how much does his employer withhold yearly for state income tax. So his state income tax is going to be his taxable wages, which we just found, $40,750, times the tax rate. Back here, tax rate is 3%, which is the same as 0.03. And we can do that in Desmos. 40,750 times 0.03 gives us $1,222.5, which is the same as 50 cents. And that is it for a quick introduction to taxes. Have a wonderful day.